Rise and Shine Tribe, I'm Renee. Welcome to United Spirits Village, where we love up on ourselves, we love up on our families, we love up on our communities. We raise the vibration of our whole selves to show up more deliberately, intentionally in the world. Why is this important? There are so many forces that can distract us, like the media. It's great to think outside the box sometimes and let our mind guide us. I've taken on a new project. I've been working on a quilt. I've been hand stitching a quilt, and this makes me feel closer to my grandmother, who passed on in 1995. But when I was around 7 or 8, Grandma taught me how to sew with a needle and thread and thimble, and she showed me a couple different stitches. And I also think of the quilts that I grew up with as a young girl. These were quilts that were sent to Grandma from Texas, from family members. And Grandma used to quilt too, and she said they would use the old clothes, used clothing material, cut it up and transform them into quilts that would keep them warm in the cold weather. And just hearing all my grandmother's stories, they lived through me, and those the quilting and gardening and stuff, those stories have become a part of me. They're things that I love to do. Well, nonetheless, I put my soap making supplies away. I made some soap, and I decided that I really want to quilt, stitch by hand, and quiet my mind. I do this in the quiet several hours a day for the last 4 or 5 days. No television, no music, and I can hear myself think. I started remembering things that I hadn't thought about in a while, like songs that I used to love from the 80s. And I'm like singing to myself, stitching. It was so fun. This video is just really about take time for self-care. Self-care means being mindful and intentional about how we treat ourselves. I'm calling this series the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise, and Strong Project. Healthy, Wealthy, Wise, and Strong is a United Spirits project. And 2025, I really want to honor the ancestors. I'm going to focus really on what that means, how our relatives who have moved on to the next plane of existence or returned to the spiritual realm still guide us and give us messages and teach us and remind us who we are. Grandma used to say, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And then my friend Michael Webb, whom I've known about a decade now, said, oh, I love that. I love that. I would add the word strong, healthy, wealthy, wise, and strong. And being strong mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, environmentally, socially. Did I say socially? Emotionally. Those are all great traits and great values. My fit word of the day, create. Create. What will you create in 2025? How will you show up for yourself intentionally? Feed yourself so that you are healthy, wealthy, wise, and strong. Will you pick up a new hobby or adventure or activity that you love to do? Will you intentionally do some meal prep? Or more healthy foods, more balanced nutrition to keep you strong? Will you read a little more or do some research or join a circle of people who do things that you like to do so that you continue being wise? Will you take time for meditation and prayer and quiet your mind, leaving social media and technology behind so that you can hear yourself, your own inner wisdom better? That's a great idea. Wealthy. Being wealthy, I realize, is a state of mind. Being rich in thoughts, hopeful and positive is great. Like, someone came up on social media with this word toxic positivity, and it was so shocking to me. Never do I want to push my good feelings and joy onto someone, because I have my bad days, you know. I have thoughts that I have to say, "Ooh, where did that come from? Let me check it, change it." But positivity is a great thing. It's where we see possibilities, where hope is inspired, and we can lift someone else up in times of need or grief or despair, confusion and doubt. Those things happen in life. Those feelings, those emotions are inspired just by living, right? Positivity is just where hope blooms, where ideas bloom, where we can move on and love ourselves even in difficult moments, right? We need more positivity in the world. I don't believe in toxic positivity. Healthy, wealthy, wise, and strong. Not strong just physically, but our mental health needs to be intact and balanced in order to tackle challenges of the world. Our sister and priestess, Iyanla Van Sant, there's a video trending saying, "Stop acting like something's wrong with you." That's funny because I suffered for my past mentally for at least a decade, maybe 2 decades. And I had to heal some inner layered stuff that came up. And I feel the best I have ever felt. Well, at least the best I've felt in a while. And know myself and love myself. I feel healthy, wealthy, wise, and strong. And no, I don't want to act like something's wrong with me because I had some challenges in my past. Do you find yourself ruminating on the past, holding grudges against someone who may have hurt you? It may have happened a year ago, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Let it go, because I know when I carried stuff around, harboring hurt and pain, feeling sorry for myself for something that happened to me, it brought me down. It brought me down in a way that was debilitating. I don't want that to happen to you. Or if it's happened, don't let it happen again. I know that sometimes I feel down or blue, and I work through it and pray and use my wellness tools. Have some wellness tools that you can use to get yourself out of that funk if it happens. So going back to the fit word. Oh, fit. Fundamentals of internal transformation. Transformations are normal. They're a normal part of development. And when we're wiser, we can use tools and strategies to maintain that growth. There's nothing wrong with growth, right? Growth. From the day we're born, we grow, we develop. And people are living longer these days. If we're living longer, let's be the healthiest and wealthiest and wisest and strongest that we can be, right? Let's do it. That's what this channel has always been about. My idea was just to inspire positive thinking, different ways of thinking. And I didn't necessarily go too much into my private stories, but if you'd like to hear more stories, I can share those. Yeah, so usually my videos are just heart-to-heart talks to inspire you and motivate you, encourage you, and hold you up, especially during life's rough moments. I love you, tribe. United Spirits has always been a place that you can come to get some positive insight, just a moment of inspiration. And I will continue to do that for you. And if you find value in this content, please feel free to share it with someone else who might benefit from words of positivity. Please like this video. Thank you for listening to the end of the video. That's always helpful. And just have a blessed day. Today is December 30th, 2024. I've set the intention to continue being my fabulous self. And I hope you do too. Remember, the United Spirits Project, being healthy, wealthy, wise, and strong. That's what we encourage on this channel. And I'll see you next time. Come back. Mwah. Oh, hi again. Enjoy the videos of the progression of my quilt. This quilt I've been quilting by hand. Enjoy the video. If you want any quilting tips or like to join me one day to quilt, let me know. Okay, have a good day. So I put the right sides together and pin. I have these tiny pins, but I have noticed that more experienced quilters and sewers buy longer pins that kind of have this button on the end. So yeah, I just pin it every 5 inches or so. Then I hand stitch. This was a jelly roll that I bought from Joann's, and it was a really quick way to do my first quilt without having to cut a bunch of material. This is my very first quilt, although I did restore an old baby blanket for someone. I restored a little boy's, I think, Batman quilt. He had it, I think it was gifted to him or when he was a baby, and at 10 years old he had used it every day of his life, and it needed to be taken apart, rebatted, I put a border on it. I had never done that before. I took apart every stitch and then, for the most part, hand stitched a new quilt. I have a really inexpensive sewing machine that I got from Walmart 2 decades ago. It still works. It breaks quite often, but I've mastered the art of putting it back together. Rather than worry with all that, I decided to hand stitch this quilt. A really thin polyester thread. In the future, I will use a good quality cotton string. This is what I have, so this is what I'm using. Oh goodness, did I drop it? Do you have to switch up your glasses? I need bifocals, dual purpose glasses. I think someone told me they work really well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you how to stitch, but because I'm not sure if it's helpful having this camera go in and out. So I have an incredibly long piece of thread, but I start here. That I didn't put that together very well. So I start here. Please don't do this at home. The thread can get tangled. It can be frustrating. Okay. So I just kind of seal up the edges there. And then I just weave in and out of the material. I'll have to see this. You may not even be able to see this very well. In and out, in and out. And I'm not worried about it being so tight like it would be if you were using the sewing machine, because this will be quilted and reinforced with the batting. Yeah. Yippee, looky. So this was a jelly roll. If I buy another one, I'll give you a picture of what a jelly roll is, in case you're not familiar with that. But I hand stitched all of these jelly roll strips together. Now let me tell you, why would I do that when I have a sewing machine? Well, it's so calming. It's a meditation. It helps me focus. It gives me purpose. And then my mind is relaxed. I can watch YouTube sewing videos. Anyway, yeah, so for now I am hand stitching. I'm very happy. Now what am I going to do with these strips? Let me put this camera down. I don't want to be in camera because I'm still in my PJs and my hair. You don't want to see my hair. But so I don't know. What do you have ideas for this? I'm thinking of folding them and cutting them so that they're blocks, right? They'll be blocks, so I'll have 4 blocks each, or yeah, I think 4 blocks. Boop, boop. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. And it looks like I might be on video. I don't want to be on video. So. We shall see. What is she going to do?